Yeah, we're looking at a pro wrestling board game today, guys. Let's jump in the ring with all-time wrestling. All-Time Wrestling is a 1-to-4 player competitive card game published by Cation Arts, where players control one of the greatest wrestlers of all time in a match for the history books. Each player selects which wrestler they want to play as. A good amount are actual wrestling legends from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, and takes their player's pre-constructed deck, their unique player board, a health and stamina board, and the momentum tracker is placed between the two players. When a player has initiative, they can either draw a card, gain some stamina back, or initiate an attack by playing a card from their hand. To play a card, you have to pay the stamina cost listed on the card and then roll a die. Yes, this is a card game that requires dice. If your roll is equal to or higher than the target number on the attack, then you deal damage, move the momentum track your direction, and you keep the initiative, which means that you take another turn. But if you miss an attack, or even worse, your opponent blocks or reverses it, well, now they get the initiative, and they get to take a turn. In fact, if you take any action that doesn't result in a successful attack, you lose the initiative. Now, there are all these extra gameplay mechanics that can help mitigate that risk if you play smart. Things like using a unique power from your player board, or rampage attacks, which let you play multiple cards with one action, or comboing certain cards together if they have the right matching symbols at the bottom, making them easier to hit or dealing more damage, or even just making sure that momentum is on your side, which allows you to hit your signature and finishing moves much easier. Now, these signature and finishing moves are more than just powerful attacks that deal high damage. They also set up your way to win the game, because whenever you play your finisher, or really any attack that has this symbol on it, you can go for a pin. When you pin an opponent, they get 3 chances, or less if you've used a finisher, to roll 2 dice and get a result that is equal to or less than their current health. Now, if they do, they kick out. And if they don't, you win. So before I get into what I think about the game, I want to talk a little bit about the components. I think this game looks fantastic. In the All or Nothing box, we've got 8 wrestlers. 4 of them are original creations, and they seem very cool too. But what we're all in it for are the licensed wrestlers, right? We've got the Macho Man Randy Savage, we've got Andre the Giant, we've got Kurt Angle, and we've got the British Bulldog. All of them look great. The art looks fantastic. You recognize each of the wrestlers. The art for all of the moves on the cards is unique. It's a really great looking game. The card stock is fine. I mean, it's a card game, right? They're going to be a little cheaper cards, similar to what you get with Pokemon or Magic the Gathering. I personally, considering this is a boxed card game, would have preferred a linen finish, but, you know, I get why they didn't do that. The punchboard components are also really nice too. High quality, doesn't seem like it's going to wear out anytime soon. Now, I will say this, there are a lot of icons in this game. Tons of icons in this game. Things for pinning and taunting and all sorts of other things, okay? And that can be a little intimidating. But component-wise, other than the typo that I found in the rule book, which I've informed the designer of and he's not too happy about, everything looks great. Very high production quality. So what do I think of it? I always rate things in 3 categories. Buy it. This is pay-per-view level, WrestleMania, the greatest show on earth, right? Try it. I think you'll like it, but maybe check it out before you purchase those ringside seats. Or fly it. Take this game and pile drive it through the ground. It is not worth your time. I can honestly say I like this game. This game is a fantastic, fun game that really feels like a pro wrestling match. And what do I mean by that? I mean the drama of it. I mean the pageantry of it, the back and forth of it, the melodrama of it. where you're doing multiple moves and then you mess up once and then your friend capitalizes on it and all of a sudden you are in the world of hurt. Or literally you've got the match won and then they do one move and boom, you're in trouble and they've got the momentum. All of that feels great. In the All or Nothing box, you get rules for cage matches, you get rules for a campaign mode, a solo mode. There's a lot of content here. But here's my one issue with this game. I play a lot of card games. Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, the Versus system, and this, while not necessarily a complicated game, is more fiddly than any of those other games. Now, what do I mean by fiddly? I mean that this is a game where not only are you managing your hand, but you're also going to be managing the cubes. So many cubes! You're going to be managing your cube of stamina. You're going to be managing your cubes of power. You're going to be managing the cubes of momentum. It's a lot of cubes. This is a lot of cubes in this game. But is it a good game? Is it fun? Absolutely. But that amount of moving this and doing that and moving this in order to play a single card, making sure that I play this card and now your opponent gets to grab this and then I also get to grab this and do this, that's not going to be for everybody. It's a lot. It's a lot for me, and I'm used to board games and card games. And when I'm playing a pro wrestling board game or card game, I don't know that I want to be tracking all of that stuff. I want to be getting in there, throwing down some cards, and doing some crazy moves, and telling a wild story with my friends, but there's just a lot to do in order to get there. But don't get me wrong, the game has legs, and if you like that sort of a thing, and you're okay with that kind of fiddliness, I mean, there's so much here, and there's so much content. Currently, as of the recording of this video, there's another Kickstarter that is live, and they've got JYD, they've got Kamala and Sergeant Slaughter. So I'm really excited to see what else Cation Games comes up with, because I feel like there's a lot here and the system is a lot of fun, but is it for everybody? Maybe not. So what do I think? As always, I want to give a big shout out to all of my patrons whose generous support helped me make quality content like this. And if you're interested in becoming a patron yourself, information on how to do so can be found in the description for this video, along with a link to my blog where you'll find more reviews and painting tutorials for games like this. And if you like this video and would like to see more, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, my meeps.